Hello everyone, it's Ryan here from Little Roadie Wargaming for a Army showcase. Today's army is the British 8th Army. This was a project of mine for the year 2021, and I'm very happy to say that I managed to finish it on time and with a little bit of time to spare. I'm particularly proud of this one. I got it done on time, and I really decided to step up my basing. So what we have here was designed for bolt action, although it should also work for something like chain of command. It's made up of three 10-man early mid-war infantry squads. Each one has a NCO with a Thompson submachine gun, a Bren machine gun with a loader, and the rest are with rifles. Now, like I said, I decided to get a little creative with some of the basing this time around, give them more of a dynamic pose, and it was also the first time for my bolt action armies that I was working with tile grout as a basing material. And I have to say I'm really pleased with how it came out. Also, while gaming, I do have a tendency to drop some things, and I have to say that this tile grout basing is extremely durable, as well as cement. So these three squats also have a leader, one of the earlier war desert British leaders, with his trusty platoon sergeant. And this is probably one of my favorite miniatures in the range because, I mean, look at that. Also got a medic here, which all of these are metal. Some of you new to this part of the hobby might be thinking, oh, metal models, that's just a no. You know, we have plastic now. I gotta say, the metal models, I was skeptical when I started getting into bolt action, moving over from kind of a late entry into some of the more sci-fi ones. And I was skeptical with metal, but I gotta say, I actually love them because the detailing, especially on the Warlord ones and some of the Perry ones, are phenomenal. I also put together a 2-man boys AT rifle, as the Piat had not quite been introduced yet. Going on to some of the teams, I've got a medium mortar, 3-inch mortar, and I really went kind of nuts with the basing here. And this was kind of the first basing stretch that I did, and I am extremely pleased with how this came out. Said it's tile grout. I think I built this up a little bit with, I think it was Milliput? No. Sculptamold, and just built up some of the sand barriers and using little bits to make sure that the crew had weapons to defend themselves and extra ammunition, and just really pull the whole thing together into like a little mini vignette or diorama. I also did the same thing to an extent with the medium machine gun here, the Vickers. Give it more of a entrenched position. The mortar's also got a little spotter here. For a little bit of anti-tank, that's more than the boys AT, also built up a British 6-pounder. Once again, making sure that there were crew weapons, extra ammunition here on the grounds, and taking a little bit of cover for an entrenched position. Now for the big one. The British 25-pounder, 8th Army, with limber. I had a lot of fun with this one. I really went a bit nuts with the basing. Now, this is not super practical from a gaming perspective, but I love how it looks, and this thing's really going to be more sitting in the back. I love that the kit from Warlord came not only with the gun and the crew, but the limber as well. And it also came with a tow. This is the Morris Quad Tractor. Great model. Had a lot of fun with this, especially the detailing with all the stowage on the back. I'm going to be using this as a tow for either the 25-pounder or the 6-pounder. With bolt action, they both count as artillery, so you can take usually one or the other. Also, with this being the 8th Army, I wanted to make sure that I had transports for pretty much all the infantry and teams that I would be taking in kind of any combination for about a 1,000-point game. So I picked up some of these trucks. I believe these are the civilian drop side trucks, which they look great for really any purpose. And I think this is also technically a Morris. I think the C8. Great model. You can either do it with or without the top. I decided to add the top because, well, a bunch of fair-skinned Brits out in the desert, they're going to want some shade. And to finish off this project, I painted up a Matilda. This is the first time that I did the contour scheme, and it took me a few tries. I used some of the Tamiya tape, and I picked myself up one of the Vallejo British Armor contour kits, which was great. Had a lot of fun. This is an all resin model. I even picked up another Matilda that I'm going to be using for later projects. It might be a little while, but it was one of the Warlord's offset shipping Matildas, so I figured why not. And that's my 8th Army. Like I said, it's great for bolt action. It'll also work for chain of commands. And I hope you've enjoyed the battle reports that they've already been featured on. And soon I will have some tutorials on both how to paint and how to base them. So as always, thank you for watching. Click that like button, the subscribe button, help support the channel. We greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.